My faceless channel was completely dead in March 2023 with only $5 generated the whole month. Our highest earning day, as a matter of fact, was not even a dollar. But if I sort this to, let me move myself right over here. If we change this to 4 months later, so April, May, June, I think it's June, you can actually see if we apply that, we hit $1,000 in the month of June. We did 240,000 views, and you can actually see how consistent and stable our views are. Because these are evergreen channels, they don't rely on trends or virality. We ended up the month with $10,000 view days, and we hit our first $100 day off of ad revenue alone. I know this is not life-changing money because it's just $3,000 a month, but if we sort this to then our 5th month of starting Evergreen YouTube Automation, you can actually see we scaled it, and consistently every single day we were guaranteed over $100 a day. Like our lowest earning day was $101, and then we scaled up to, at the end of that month, $175. You can see how consistent this graph is. Our views likewise the same. It was super consistent, anywhere between 10,000 views a day, no, 11,000 views a day to then upwards of 15,000 views per day. Now that this channel has actually generated us $176,000 with 19 million views. I want you to watch this full entire video from start to finish so you understand fully how to change your dead channel, or maybe you don't even have a channel, but to make a basically $0 channel into a 6-figure channel within 2 years, okay? I'm not going to say and tell you it's going to take, 6 months, because chances are it's not. It's also, it shouldn't take you 5 years, more than 5 years. I've been doing YouTube for a total of 5 years. The first 3 years, I had no idea what I was doing. Anyways, let's get into this video. There's not one magic secret that will make this happen. What do I exactly mean by that? There's no magic pill. There's no secret sauce that will just turn your channel from $0, exactly like mine in March 2023, to then making $1,000 a month and then $100 days. I didn't do that because I just found one magic secret. Get that shit out of your head. There's no such thing as that. You have to do an implemented framework that works and execute accurately over a consistent period of time. How to get that out of the way? You have to model a proven framework, not just reinvent the wheel. I kind of misspelled wheel. But if you go inside of YouTube Automation and you try to create content and you're completely new to creating content at all, like you're a completely beginner, you can't pull off a Mr. Beast 2.0. He found his niche because he literally did YouTube for over a decade. His first 5 years, he didn't find any success at all. So find a proven framework that works. This applies to literally everything in life. So stop, think about a second. How do you become a very, very good swimmer? Do you freaking make up your own stroke and just go like this? No, you don't. You have to find something that is already proven to make you swim fast. And how do you do that? Freestyle or front crawl, whatever you want to call it, this movement. That is a proven framework, okay? So find that inside of Evergreen YouTube. Let's go to the next one. Proven frameworks. I want to show you guys what are some of the best frameworks that I personally run on my channels. And then after that, also some terrible frameworks that you should never touch, and obviously why, okay? Number one, Evergreen system. Because I'm biased, my best channels are all run on the Evergreen system. And if you're new here, you don't know what that is, creating content that are nicheless. That's a cool thing about Evergreen content. You are not building videos to try to grow a fan base. You're not trying to grow an audience, but you're simply creating content that people can watch for 2 months later, 2 years later, 20 years later, doesn't matter. So instead of, trying to get your subscribers to come back to watch your content, hopefully they like all of your videos for the next 5 years, just create videos that people already need to watch. Boom. You don't have to, beg. What's the word I'm looking for? Look, you don't want to get them a reason why to watch a video and persuade them to click on your video over someone else's. Because if you're doing that, channels like Mr. Beast, they're going to completely dominate you. Why would anyone click on your terrible video that's outsourced by an Indian when they can just click on Mr. Beast's video? So competing on the browse side of things, or on the entertainment side of things, it's not going to be very, very a good framework. There's a lot of people who succeed in it, like the browse content, the entertainment space, but you're literally convincing people to click on your video above someone else's. And the way that the Evergreen system works is that you're already creating content that has a demand for it. There's always a need. For example, let me give you a random video example. How to boil an egg. People don't watch how to boil an egg because they're entertained by it. They watch how to boil an egg because they genuinely don't know how to boil an egg, and they want to create some food for dinner. So what do they search up? How to boil an egg, okay? So when there's already a demand for said content, all you have to do is create the supply and you'll get a rolling view machine that is guaranteed to roll in no matter what. You can literally stop posting videos for a month. You'll still get views, guaranteed, okay? Number two, faceless review channels. This one's kind of ties into Evergreen. It's like a sub niche of Evergreen content, but essentially, if you create review-based content, that's also already in demand. So anything that already naturally has a need and desire to watch, and you're not convincing people to click on your video over someone else's, the guessing game gets eliminated. And when there's no guessing game, that improves your odds to grow and successfully scale your views and thus make more money. Anything review based, it can be product reviews, digital reviews. Most likely you want to skip or shift towards the digital review side of things, because if you're creating physical products, you have to not only, turn on your camera, be cool looking, be handsome with a good haircut. It's just to, keep it digital, keep it faceless. So that's the proven frameworks. I'm sure there's other ones as well, but these are the two of my favorite personally, and what I find works the best 80 to 90% of the time when you execute it accurately. Horseshit frameworks, don't do these, because I did it in March 2023, I made $5, okay? I did shorts. Do not make shorts. I've tried shorts. I made a bunch of subscribers off of shorts. In fact, my channels, all the subscribers are growing through shorts. So yeah, you'll go famous and popular. So if you want to flex to your friends, by all means, flex your dead subscribers from shorts. But if you want to actually make money, if you want to actually quit your corporate job and to have YouTube as your literal mainstream of income that's very consistent, shorts is the last thing for you to dive into. Shorts grow quickly and they die out just as quickly. And those people who scroll in the shorts, they don't actually build not only a fan base. Yes, you don't need a fan base, but also if you were to try to go fan base, they would not last. Secondly, do you remember the last 20 shorts you watched? No, you don't. So then your audience are very, very low quality, and thus you're going to have a very low RPM. We can go into RPMs later. I have another video actually completely dedicated about RPMs. Go watch that. But your RPM's not only going to be low, but your views will die out just as quickly, and it's shorts are ass. Think about it. If you're making 5 cents per 1,000 views, which is literally the shorts RPM, which is how much you get paid per 1,000 views, you need 100 million views to make $5,000 or something ridiculous like that. Like, that's just you're just completely dependent on the algorithm. You're always chasing the next video to go completely viral. If your videos for 2 weeks or the whole month accidentally didn't go viral, like you were stuck with like 10,000 short form views, you're going to be homeless. You're going to be living on the streets, and we don't want that. AI created videos are going to get your videos demonetized. So you're not going to be able to earn ad revenue. And like I said in my other videos, AI content is very, very easily flagged as low quality content simply because AI is not good enough. And the last thing YouTube wants, because think about it, the last thing YouTube wants is low quality content to completely fall over the market, because YouTube is simply it's almost like Netflix, where people want to go onto YouTube to chill and relax, watch some quality videos. And the longer people spend on YouTube, the more money YouTube makes. So YouTube wants their platform to be filled with very high-end production. And when there's terrible reused content that are low quality, which is AI created, everyone's going to get off YouTube. Like, ask yourself this question. When you click on a video that's instantly here, boom, ChatGPT voiceover or Google Translate voiceover, how long are you going to actually watch that video for? Sure, you might watch it for a couple minutes, but if you just every single video you watch back to back to back to back, they're all AI, you can be like, what the fuck is this shit? You're going to click off, go on TikTok probably, and then just scroll it with your dopamine-fried receptors. So not only are you going to get demonetized, but you're not going to get a lot of views. A lot of the highest viewed videos on YouTube in general, and all of YouTube, are created with real voiceovers, okay, created by humans. And I'll go into all that voiceover stuff, nitty-gritty, later on in this video, so definitely keep on watching, stay tuned for that. But if you do any of these two frameworks, you literally have no hope. I'm sorry, don't do any of these two, okay? So now I'm going to go over and give you actual tangible advice of do's and don'ts, so that way you can make sure that you can apply these to your channel today and then build it up for success, okay? So no copying 1 million subscriber channels. The reason why you don't want to do that is because there's this thing called channel authority within YouTube. Ask yourself this question. If a 1 million subscriber channel and a two subscriber channel posted the same video, and then they disabled notifying to subscribers so they can't, sabotage and take advantage of the 1 million subscribers. They just posted it onto YouTube, okay? Who's going to get more views? Who, as a YouTube platform, is going to prioritize if they upload the same exact content. Logic tells me, and logic tells you, that the 1 million subscriber channel is going to find their video, get more views easier because they built up already a good history with YouTube, that they are proven to be able to get good quality content out and thus push out good viewers and good views overall. They have a lot of subscribers, they have proven good concept, yeah, good history, good establishment. Essentially, what I'm trying to say is if you do the same exact videos as a 1 million sub channel, they're going to absolutely crush you. You're not going to do better than them. Don't do it. Instead, you want to find two small competitors, preferably similar amount of subscriber range as you, even smaller is even better, that are posting within these two formats. So let me just get back to right here. Find two competitor channels that are posting neither the Evergreen system or in the faceless review channels system. And then look at the content that they're creating. Because whatever works on their content, and they're a small channel, so it's going to be more difficult for their video to get pushed out in a sense. So that if their video got pushed out and they have the odds stacked against them, then with you on your dead channel also having the odds stacked against you, you're going to probably do well as well. Think about that. And the reason why they do well is not because necessarily the content is good. That could be a reason why, but it's most likely because the topic is good. You get the shittiest content ever. You can literally post videos about, I don't know, something completely unrelated to the topic. But if the topic literally has guaranteed an X amount of people that is in need of it because there's always a demand for it, but then the supply is like two other channels posting videos that are not even semi-related to it, you're going to crush. No making physical videos, because if you're making physical videos, bro, it will be so difficult for you to outsource and automate and even scale that in the future. So not only are you going to have to pull out your camera or get someone and convince them to pull out the camera, because if you automate stuff also, I have to say this, their video camera, you're going to be hiring freelancers. You're not going to be hiring high-end production Hollywood, video cameras. So when they film with their face, it can be the worst video quality ever. The content quality is going to be like 720p or 480p. Everyone's going to click off and get no views. And then lastly, physical videos in general are very low RPM. Unless you were to film some crazy physical business idea that's money related, you're going to have a pretty decent RPM. But if you just film like, I don't know, car gadgets, computer gadgets, how to fix your car, who watches those content? Very, very generic individuals. You're not targeting a specific niche. And though it'll be so much more difficult for you to have a high RPM, you can get paid like $1 or $2 max per 1,000 views, unless your video is like an hour long and then you spam it all with content with ads. So don't do that. Make screen recordable content. So not only is it very low effort videos that can be easily scalable, easily creatable, so your production costs will not only be low, but you can also target specifically towards a set of audience. If you want to make video content towards kids and get a lot of views that way because there's a ton of kids on YouTube, make gaming screen recording content. If you want to target business owners who have a lot of spending power, or just older people that give you a higher RPM, make screen recordable content on money related apps or banking apps, because who uses banks? Not kids, probably not third world Indian kids. And it's going to be those Northern American adults. So screen recordable content, super low cost, super easy to use, gives you the right people to target, and it's very, very scalable. So with those tangible advices aside, I'm going to give you priorities that you have to, not even just want to, you have to take advantage. Because if you don't meet any of these expectations, your channel's going to go to the freaking ground. Bold thumbnail and title. If your thumbnail is not bold, and if it looks like this, like if I create this exact image as my thumbnail for this video, it would flop completely. It would get like 6 views. The reason why is because it's not standing out in any way compared to, let's say, a Mr. Beast thumbnail. You go through every single one of Mr. Beast thumbnails, and you'll see how bright and bold every single individual is with contrasting colors. It stands out from the competitors. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Non-Indian voiceover. Ask yourself this question. If you were to watch a video, let's say you needed to watch a video, so going back to the Evergreen preference, let's say for some random example, you accidentally forgot your Instagram password. So you type in how to change Instagram password without knowing the password. Type it in. And then you hear this. Hello boys, welcome back. You're going to click off. You're not going to stick around to an Indian voiceover. It just sounds terrible. You're gay if you listen to an Indian voiceover. So don't do that. Hire someone. Filipinians is, my opinion, the best voiceover because not only is it understandable, it's good quality. There is an accent, yes, but it's still very understandable, and accents are fine, and it's cheap. If you hire from US, that's the most ideal, or Canada, or anything first world, but they usually charge a lot more because US average wage is like what, $15 an hour? Philippines is like $3 an hour. Boom, you save like a fifth of the price. You don't want to have filler content or fluff content within your video because if you click on a video that says how to change a password and it's like, welcome, subscribe to my channel if you like my, you're going to click off. You're going to be like, what the fuck is this? If the video is 8 minutes long, when it could have been created in 1 minute, you're going to click off. And your retention matters on YouTube because YouTube in general, think about it as a business perspective. YouTube is a business. They want their viewers to stay on their platform for as long as possible. So then if you somehow make the worst content ever and then you got your viewers to click off after a minute, YouTube will be unhappy. They're not going to push your video. Why would they push a video that kills their business? So don't add any filler content. Go straight away into it. In this video, I will show you how to change your password. Watch until the end. Boom. No edits that cuts viewers' focus. So then again, this ties back to the retention side of things. I actually did this from personal experience, and I'll make this very, very clear. I've tried having videos in a super well edited, fancy way with a bunch of crazy explosions. Boom, voila, looks so fancy. People click off immediately. The retention graph was like this. Okay, it's completely went down. People don't want to get distracted off of the main premise of the video idea. They're here to watch that one specific video. They just want the information or value that you're going to provide to them. And my sit-down videos, like this one, where it's just pure value and advice and no distractions cutting you off from the main premise of the video and you're not getting distracted, period. They're going to retain on your video for a lot longer, and YouTube loves that. So then YouTube's going to push out your video like crazy. Packaging is one of the most important parts of YouTube. If you don't master your packaging, no one's going to even click on your video. You're not going to get any views. So when it comes to packaging, which is basically just the title and the thumbnail, the hook, okay, this is going to be completely, very, very important thing. YouTube has this feature now where if you hover this mouse across your video, it actually starts playing it for like the first 5 to 10 seconds. And so if your first 5 to 10 seconds of the video, the content itself does not match and meet expectations with your packaging, which is your title and thumbnail, they're not going to even click on your video. And so your click-through rate will be super low. You want to first make sure that your hook is super, super locked in. It at least meets expectations to a degree of your packaging. And after that hook is solid and locked in, it gives the viewers expectations. Make sure that your thumbnail is not a copy of your exact title. Because why would you want 2 titles? The title's already there for a reason. Every single individual who scrolls or just types in a specific video idea, they're going to read the title to make sure that it's relevant. Make the thumbnail contrasted with or connected with the title. So if the title, for example, was how to change your password on Instagram, don't make the thumbnail change password on Instagram for the text. Have it very easy. Add reason for the viewer to click on. You want to add reasoning within the thumbnail, not exactly the title, because this is a lot easier. And you don't want more than 3 elements. So element is just something of a focus point. So usually for the most best thumbnails, it's like a background, there's a person, and then there's text. That's the most generic thumbnail in all of Evergreen space, or just in all of YouTube general. Sometimes even the less the better. So if you have 2 elements, that could also in some cases be better than 3 elements. But if you have 4 elements, like 2 logos, text, a human, some weird background, another background, there's too much going on. People don't like it to be, super fancy and stuff. Simpler the better. And usually you just want the thumbnail to be standing out like a sore thumb. You want it to be what's the word again? I'm forgetting it. Like contrasting with the thumbnail, so it kind of works with complement. That's the word I'm looking for. You want your thumbnail to complement your title, add value without being an exact one-to-one copy. And then obviously you want your thumbnail to stand out in both light and dark mode, because yes, a lot of people use dark mode on YouTube, but old people, like I don't know why, my parents included, they use light mode. So if your video has a white background, it's probably not going to do so well and stand out because it's going to blend in with the white mode. So have it as like a nice bright color. Usually blue is really good. Bright yellow is really good as well. Any sort of color for the background that can stand out in both modes. So you get the best of both worlds. And voiceover. Like I said earlier, when people have that new feature on YouTube where they just hover over a video, they can listen to the audio, they can see what the video is about for the first 5 to 10 seconds. If they hear an Indian voiceover, your entire channel is going to be flopped. You're going to be living outside on the streets. If you use an AI voice, you're going to lose your channel because then again, that demonetization crap. You want a decent mic quality as well. So even if you have to buy a $20 mic to your freelancer, that's a good investment because that's actually going to pay back an ROI tenfold probably if that freelancer stays with you long term and they have a good voiceover. So don't buy mic quality if you have an Indian guy. But if you have like a Philippine voiceover that's really, really cheap and really good quality, bro, buy them a $20 microphone. Have the microphone at like really good production quality and people are not going to click off because if it sounds like a potato, guess what? I'm going to click off, you're probably going to click off, and all your viewers are going to click off. An accent is fine, but it has to be understandable. So that's why the Indian voiceover sucks. Not only is the accent terrible, but it's really hard to understand. Whereas if it was an American voiceover or Philippine voiceover, sure, there's like a slight accent, but you can 100% know what the video is about. And sometimes actually, because a lot of YouTube in general is like American voiceovers, it'll sound unique and almost like a fresh breather if it was like a Australian voiceover or something. So accents, huge fan. And like I said earlier, your CTR, I don't think I said this earlier, sorry. Your CTR matters more than retention. So, to Danny, explain to viewers what CTR is. The CTR, in case you didn't know, is the ratio between how many people saw your content versus how many people actually clicked and watched it. If there was 100 people that searched up how to change a password, they scrolled down to see like the pop-up list, they see my video ranking at 5th, and then 20 people clicked out of the 100, boom, that's a 20% click-through rate. That's very good, actually. If your click-through rate is 2 figures, so 10% or higher, you're good, your packaging is good, your title is good, you're chilling. Your video is basically guaranteed to get views if it has a 10% click-through rate. Now, there's also a difference between 10% click-through rate in the first hour and 10% click-through rate in the first day. Usually the first hour is a little bit less accurate or maybe even more accurate. I would say less accurate to a degree because usually the people who watch your video content within the first hour are going to be, if it was built around a fan base, it would be your fans and they're going to automatically click on it. So if it wasn't a fan base, then it doesn't really matter as much. The reason why your click-through rate matters a lot more than retention, though, is because if no one clicks on your video to begin with, who's going to watch your content? You're not going to get views. No one's going to watch the ad before your video. You're not going to get paid. Vice versa, if you had a really good click-through rate, so everyone clicked, let's say you have a 30% click-through rate. People clicked off immediately within the first 5 seconds of YouTube. Sure, YouTube's not going to really push out your content or keep it ranking at the first on YouTube search, but you got 30% of people to click on it. So, bro. And always, YouTube plays ads before the actual video even begins. So you're chilling. You're going to get ad impressions. You're going to get paid, even though no one even clicked on and stayed for a long time. And also, from my personal experience, I've tried both ways. A CTR and a low retention will give you more views than a low CTR and high retention. So don't worry too much on the nitty-gritty of the content itself, but focus on your packaging above anything else. Packaging also comes into play within Evergreen content, but if you want your video to absolutely do well, no matter what, it's all in the title. It's not the title, the topic. Because if you were to make a video about how to delete your Instagram password or how to change your Instagram password, there's probably already like 100+ channels making videos about that. So for your video to do well across hundreds of other videos, it's kind of small. But if you were to make a video about how to, make it super specific, because specific video is super, super niched and super, super specific. And so that thus creates a less supply. And when there's less supply, there's naturally a gap in the market between supply and demand. Make a video titled, how to make my Instagram profile picture, how to change my Instagram profile picture after 13 days instead of waiting 14 days, because I think there's this feature where like you can't, no, that's your name. How to change your Instagram name before waiting 14 days. Something like that. That was just something made off the top of my mind. Don't be an idiot and post once a week. The start of your video will never be perfect, especially if you are new, especially if you have never grown a successful channel. Post at least once a day. It doesn't matter how bad the content is at first, but you have to understand what makes a good piece of content and what makes a bad piece of content. And the way you do that is through experience, execution, and analyzation. If you always post quality content over and over again, quantity content, but then you never analyze it, you're not learning. So not only do you need to focus on volume, but you also need to focus on studying the content. Study why it did bad, what videos did good and why it did good. Was it because the title was good, or was it because your hook was good, or was it because they just liked your voiceover? Figure it out. But to say the very least, the more chances you give yourself, the more probabilities of you winning and actually gaining money. So if you're giving your probabilities one time every single week, it's going to take you a long time to figure out a video that actually pops off and do good. Give yourself more probabilities, post more often. That will increase your likelihood of having one video do good, and then that way you will know what worked. You'll double down on it, not be an idiot, and get a bunch of views. So looping back to the studying part, what you want to study is your highest RPM video topics. So go into your little button that says analytics, see which video ideas or which niches in specific give you the highest audience spending power, and that will give you the highest RPM. Your most viewed videos, because usually that just means there's a huge demand for it. There can still be a good amount of supply, honestly, but if there's just a huge, crazy... I'll give you an example, DeepSeek. That new AI that just came out that's going completely just dominating ChatGPT and completely crashed the NVIDIA market. Make videos about that. There's probably billions of people who searched for it by like the next few months. And sure, the supply is probably quite a lot as well, like maybe hundreds or even thousands of channels. But when there's thousands of channels making content about DeepSeek and then millions upon millions of people watching that content, you're still going to get views just based off of math and probabilities. Milking outliers, so just double down on any of these two said video ideas, whether that be high RPM or high views, because they're an outlier for a reason. They performed better than your regular videos. So do more of that, and your channel will grow more. Quantity matters, but that doesn't mean drop your video quality. Not only video quality, but topic quality. Topic quality is a lot more important than video quality. So you want to make sure that your topics, although you're going to be posting more times per day, let's say you're posting 5 times per day, don't sacrifice your video idea and just find mid ideas, because then none of your videos are going to do it. I would much rather you post only once a day and have that video idea that you found super, super good, super, super specific, and I guarantee that you'll get views because there's a very small supply of videos creating content for that specific niche. Why can't I? Is that it? Okay, well, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's kill it. Let's get after it. If you want me to mentor you and help you make $5,000 a month minimum from your own channel, I have a one-on-one application linked in the description. So go click on that. There's also a free training as well that I created myself because I'm so handsome and generous. I showed you guys how to create your channel from scratch. That doesn't go over everything, but that gives you a good understanding of how to get started. But other than that, I'll see you guys very, very soon. All right, let's get after it.